Hi everyone, and welcome to your universe reading. This is universe energy coming in. We have Lemurian energy, we have Atlantis energy, we have different being energy coming in. We have a little bit of everything. We have the angels coming in. So I don't have a specific topic for this reading. It is just simply going to be a surprise message. Whatever's come through is coming through. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Now pile 1 has this oval selenite. Pile 2 is desert rose, which is a form of selenite, and pile 3 is the selenite heart. So whatever crystal here calls to you, whatever pile number calls to you, or whatever card calls to you is the message meant to find you today from the universe, okay? So I'll see you in your pile. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1, this oval selenite crystal, or this card. This is going to be your universe energy reading, all of the different energies coming in from around the universe to give you a message. Now, for whatever reason, when I chose these cards today, I also had a little message come in that said, save this for the end. So I'm going to do that and flip it over at that time. I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll listen, okay? So let's get started, pile 1. We're going to have overall energy. I'm going to go through the oracle cards, then we're going to pull some live tarot as well as another oracle card to finish up. So overall energy for you, pile 1, is Archangel Shamuel or Shamael, and it is beginnings. With Uranus, change. Okay, so I like that overall energy of change and new beginnings. Okay, so that's starting off good here. If I can just get them lined up. All right, we're going to pull out the rest of the cards and then we'll talk about everything. Starseer, Shamanic Journey, the hero of your cosmic journey. Lyrans, Divine Essence, and Earth Star Activation. And also today, just so you know, when I was actually creating the piles and I was shuffling and then, flipping through and randomly selecting these cards here, I was also getting a message to go to the book on these ones for whatever reason. So we're going to do that too. It doesn't always happen. Usually there's just specific books I go to, but in this case, we're going to go to the book on that one as well. So let's go back. So clearly, we have Earth Star Activation, anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy. I mean, that is your Earth Star is your chakra that's like down below your feet. Okay, so that's really grounding in. That's really digging deep into who you are. And maybe you're going to be doing that, pile 1, because it's time here for a new beginning. It's time for change. And with Uranus, it's usually big change and important change in your life. We have Lyrans, strength, courage, bravery. I want to read this Divine Essence card. Drawing this card suggests that you return to basics and examine who you truly are. Allow your Divine Essence to guide you. Innocence is a highly evolved state which allows you to be natural, joyful, and at one with your higher self. Your guidance is to be yourself. Be true to yourself. Okay, so maybe that's the new beginning that you're having then, pile 1. Okay, I'm just going to leave this flipped over for now. I was looking at the card too and just see how almost there's like an angelic halo that's coming around, right? It's like you're activating your new self. You have divine essence surrounding you. I like that, but I'm going to keep this card flipped so I can refer back to it. But with this new beginning, pile 1, what I really see here with Starseer, that is being able, see the third eye open there. That is being able to see beyond yourself, to see beyond everyday life, to be able to see big picture, what's going on around you, what's going on in the world. And I feel right now with this Earth Star activation too, that they are really pressing to you this new big change in your life. And look how there's a single solitary person on this card. Okay, so this is all about you, not changing anyone around you, but just changing you. And this is going to be a journey. We literally have 2 journey cards here, okay? And you're going to be the hero of your own journey. And see how this person is climbing the ladder. It looks almost like it's like she's holding it out and saying, please, please, I want you to climb to the top. I want you to see with that light what is out there for you. It's being able to see big picture. And for a lot of you, this is going to take a lot of strength and courage and bravery, because when you're comfortable with where you are right now, whether you like it or not, it's really hard sometimes to climb that ladder and put yourself out there and to start seeing things differently. But just know here, the hero of your cosmic journey is going to be you. Now, I said I was going to go to the book on this one, and I am. So Shamanic Journey, is it Cetacean Whale? Parallel. So let's go there and see what this has to say. How does this tie in? There was no specific topic today. It was just whatever message comes through. So, shamans teach us to navigate through our deepest unconscious in order to confront our shadows and release stagnant beliefs and habits, creating profound transformation. Well, we're talking, I said Uranus is big change, so it's change and new beginnings. And this card is talking about profound transformation. Whale consciousness, which is connected to Sirius, is shamanic in nature. When we work with it, we must look into the mirror and see the false self. Whales are providing this service on a large scale for Earth at this time, but in a very subtle way and mostly through dreams. You've received this card because you have a connection with the whale consciousness, now or in the past, and it is calling to you once again. So this is a journey of self, right? And that's what I said. There's one person here in this card. This is a new beginning for you. This is you. I almost want to say now with this Starseer card, it's like you have gone deep. You have looked within. You have been trying to find, what does it say? The shadows, releasing stagnant beliefs and habits, right? That's, if you haven't done it, it's what you need to do. And that way, once you do that, you're going to be able to climb the ladder up out of that and make profound change in your life. Just like the card said, right? You're going to be your own hero. You are going to go back, return back to basics, and maybe that's it. This is all about you returning back to who you were, returning back to basics, kind of wiping the slate clean, cleaning the slate, and starting over again in your life. It could be in many different ways, right? It doesn't have to be just one particular thing. This reading is for many people. So you take it how it resonates in your life, what that journey is going to be for you to get back to basics, to have strength, courage, and bravery, and be able to make the changes and start over again. But by first grounding down so that you can climb out and see everything big picture. So that is the main part of the message. I'm going to go into tarot now for confirmation, clarification, to see if there's any further information that you need to know right now. But what I love here is that that third eye is open. You are able to see. You are going to start using your intuition, and maybe that's it. For a lot of you, you hadn't been using your intuition in your life before. You were just meandering aimlessly like we all did at one time, right? No clear path or direction, but you've realized that that's no longer serving you. And now it's time to make some changes. And this is your message of confirmation to do that. All right, let's get We're going to start with 3 here, see what we get. Judgment. Okay. Excellent. Page of Wands. I love this. All right, and Knight of Swords. I love that the Knight of Swords is coming out here on the sword. It means you're going to be thinking clearly, right? Okay. So with Judgment, there are many ways we can look at the Judgment card, all right? So we can look at it that this could be, well, I'm going to just go around the card here too. Acceptance, awakening, assessment. I really feel like this is almost like an awakening for you, right? Where you're rising up, whether it's a spiritual awakening or a religious awakening, whatever it is that you believe in, you're awakening in some way to realize that the life that you're living, the life that you have, is not one that is serving you, that there are shadows that need to be worked on and a new beginning has to happen. You need to be able to see your life big picture, not just day to day. You need to have a plan for yourself. And I think this Judgment card is accepting that, awakening to it, and assessing, right? Going down deep, digging deep, and figuring out what those changes need to be and how you can start fresh again. And with the Page of Wands, pages are young and innocent, right? They're full of potential. And when it's wands, they're full of new ideas, new ways of doing things. They have lots of great inspiration, right? They're very much believers of limitless possibilities. So, you know, that's the energy I want to say that you're going to be taking on in this. And with the Knight of Swords, that is someone who's a little more mature, right? And he's a little more mature than the Page, but he's very focused and very clever. And here it says, it says tension, highs, lows. He's ready to, how can I say it? He's really going to be using his intellect. He knows that there's been highs and lows in your life. He knows that there's been tension. He knows that there's been conflict. And maybe that's what's pushing you. That's what you want to let go of to move forward. Like I said, it's going to be different for everyone. That's why this card came out. But the Knight of Swords is very, again, ambitious. Here we have a lot of inspiration and ideas, right? Limitless possibilities. Here we have someone who is, you know, ambitious and wants to succeed, moves pretty fast, as does a wand, but, you know, has goals, but uses their intellect here. And I think that somehow when we have up here the hero of your cosmic journey with this sword, this is telling you it's going to be maybe intellectually how this is going to work out for you. This is intellectually, right? When it says here, your guidance is to be yourself, because you've set in your mind that you need it maybe to be someone else. And this is with the swords, it's telling you, you're going to start thinking more clearly now and realize that there's much more to it than believing that you need it to be someone else. This is going to be a complete journey for you and a completely new beginning. But I believe that it's going to be successful for you because they're telling you right here, you're going to be the hero. And what do we know about heroes? Heroes win. This is what we know. Or pardon me, at least it's what we've been taught. It's what we see in movies and on TV, right? But we know that. You work hard, you succeed, and you're the hero of your journey. So let's get one last card, pile one. Oh, and this one here I want to look at too before we go. Let's get one last card here for you. Signs. The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing to you signs and synchronicities. So if that resonates with you, you definitely know that this is your pile and your message, because maybe you've been getting subtle signs about, needing to change. Maybe you've been getting subtle signs about a fresh new start, about being able to come up out of the darkness out into the light. Maybe you've just been having dreams or signs about journeys, which is kind of you taking this solo journey on your own. I don't know, but I like that. Now let's look at this one. Orion activation, supernova, recreation, renewal, rebirthed by light. Okay, I like that just because it is, and look at how the colors on these two cards, right, are kind of one and the same. I like that. So I think this is just confirmation. It's interesting how I just pulled these cards again at the end randomly because I wanted to use one for you to choose from, right? And renewal, rebirthed by light. This is you, yeah, like really, like I said, stepping up into this light and being able to shine out, and it will be a rebirth for you. So pile one, that is your message from the universe. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, I will always take a like as it helps my YouTube channel grow. And if you like energy readings, I do many theme decks and energy readings throughout the month, along with many others. You can check the description box for that, or my about section, and subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone that may be going through a situation like this right now, then maybe you can send this message to them, share it with them, because there could be a little nugget in there for them that's important. So thank you very much, pile one. I will see you in your next reading. Hi, pile two, and those of you who either chose by number, by this desert rose crystal. It actually is related to selenite. It is a cleansing stone as well. Or this particular card, this is going to be your universe energy reading. We have all kinds of energies coming in, like I mentioned in the intro. We have Atlantis, Lemuria. We have our lovely beings from different universes, different galaxies, as well as archangels, all of love, light, highest vibration, bringing through a message, a surprise message that you need to hear. There isn't a particular topic for this reading. We are going to be doing overall energy with live tarot and oracle at the end. And as I was making up, as I was getting ready to choose cards for you guys to pick from, they said, you know what, hang on to the card and flip it over at the end. That sometimes happens, so we'll do that too. But for right now, let's get into your reading. With overall energy, we have Archangel Gabriel and Grace. We have solar flares, activate. Endless opportunities, leaving home. To be enlightened, lighten up. Mantis beings. The Temple of Poseidon. And Venusian Galactic Council. Okay, very interesting group here. So let me just take a look here and let's see what the at the overall energy, Grace. First thing I'm hearing is you need to bring it back into your life. I feel like maybe right now you are not living in grace, so to speak. I'll get into it a little bit later. But solar flare, with a solar flare and activate, it's almost like they want you to activate it. They want you to bring grace back into your life. And we hear it a lot in religion, talk about grace with Archangel Gabriel here, but it's not just religious. It's also just a way of being. It is bringing grace and acting with grace in your life. So I'm going to start there. That's the overall energy. But here, with these cards, and also I was told too when I was creating the piles, we're going to look at the book for this. For whatever reason, I don't always for the Galactic Heritage cards, but I am in this particular reading. But I love this, to be enlightened, lighten up. And maybe that's it. Maybe you're not able, for some of you, there's going to be different messages in here, okay, for people. It may be the individual cards. For others, it will be overall or pieces of it. But maybe for some of you, the reason you're finding it hard to live with grace in your life or even see the endless opportunities that are available to you is because you're not living with grace, or I'm looking down here, or you're way too sensitive maybe, or even you're being elusive, or reclusive, I want to say, right? You're not allowing the energy of grace to find you, to stick with you. That's what I want to say about this card here. Or because of your own sensitivities, that feeling and being and way of grace is not able to stick to you. And I don't know why I'm saying stick to you, but for whatever reason that may resonate. But I mean, solar flares, right? That's bright. Think of a flare, you know, it's that it takes off, it's really bright, and it lights everything up. And I feel like that's what this reading is for you, pile 2. This is your flare. This is your light up. This is the message coming into you to say it's time to lighten up. Here we have star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Again, I was just talking about bright. Here, lighten up. It's a bright card, right? Yeah, I kind of feel like it's time to bring the good back into your life. And before I even get here, what I want to say about grace and living with grace, you know, it's having integrity. It's being empathetic towards people. It's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's being forgiving. It is just being kind and nice. And when I say being forgiving, if we take it on a religious, we say, you know, by the grace of God or God's grace, just meaning that it's given. You don't even earn it, right? It's just given. And maybe that's a message for some of you, that some of the people in your life, they don't have to earn your grace. You just give it because that's the way you want to live your life. Okay, let's get into what leaving home actually is. Now, what I also want to say before I get into the book is just we can literally, again, go with just the cards. And maybe for some of you, the message here is it's time to leave home. There's endless opportunities for you out there. But if you are being elusive or reclusive or sensitive and not putting yourself out there, you're missing a lot of endless opportunities. So that's just a side message. But we're going to go and see what the card has to say here. I'm going to say Esasani is the name of this. I could be pronouncing it wrong. I really don't know. But they are a cross between humans and Zetas, and they had to actually integrate all of their lessons and evolve as a species and leave home, walk into their own future, and find their own path. Humanity is facing this challenge now as we struggle to find ourselves, which is so true, you guys. You two are at this crucial nexus point of evolution. Yes, we are. This is a beautiful yet bittersweet place to be. You must do your spiritual homework or religious homework, whatever it is for you. Make conscious and courageous choices and find your own path. Do not fear who you truly are. This represents the potential for a new birth and the importance of consciously creating your future starting now. What I love about this is where it said we are at the crucial nexus point of evolution. Humanity is facing this challenge right now. Just look at everything that's going on out in the world. And what I want to say, I see how this is all coming together and why I was called, even in pile 1, I'm like, oh, I know why they wanted me to read the actual message that's in there. A lot of us are not living in a state of grace. We are angry, we are impatient, we are selfish, we are living lives that certainly you couldn't categorize as living with grace and showing it to others. And they're saying this is a crucial time in humanity, and we need to start making the changes. And I want to say the message here is pile 2 and living in grace. Because if we don't, we're not going to see the endless opportunities that are available to us. I also want to read this Temple of Poseidon. This card indicates that it is time for new beginnings, maybe a new concept, idea, or pathway. This was talking about creating a new pathway for yourself. Maybe a new concept, idea, or pathway will be presented to you at a much higher level than anything you have previously considered. Therefore, it is suggested that you review every aspect of your life from a higher perspective. Be aware that people will look to you for guidance, so you are called on to act and speak selflessly and with the utmost integrity. You guys, honestly, I literally said we are selfish, and prior to that, I said living in grace is living with integrity, right? That is the message. So this is important for you in some way. Maybe you've been feeling this, but you weren't sure. I don't know. Or you were questioning yourself, like, am I living with integrity? Am I living with grace in my life? And so for some of you, this is a confirmation, yes. For others of you, if you've been questioning it, this is the message saying, you know what? You have full potential to do it, but you need to lighten up again, right? You need to go out on your own new path here. It's time to do that. Oh, I love this message from the universe. Let's get some tarot for further confirmation, clarification, or additional guidance. They really want you to put that flare up, to activate, to light that. I'm going with, like, you know, a roadside flare, or, you know, if you're on a boat and you have a flare, an emergency flare. Oh my God, that's kind of interesting. It's almost like it could be an emergency for some of you. Like, now is the time in your life. It's kind of like a now or never. Doesn't mean never ever. But you know what I mean? It's like that, you know, as the saying says, it's now or never. And I feel that for some of you, that may be the case. Like, they're coming down hard on this because they're saying, look, this is your opportunity. Everything is set in place for you to make the change right now, pile 2. Let's get some tarot here. We're going to start with 3. If we need more, we'll get it. We have the 10 of Swords. I love it because what is the 10? It is an ending, right? Closure, endings, final. Closure, endings, final. It's time to shut out the life that you weren't living with grace. It's time to stop being elusive or reclusive. It's time to start shining. Okay, let's get another. Yeah, it's the end. It's the end of that way of thinking. Wheel of Fortune. Again, they are hammering it home here. Remember when I said that it's time for you, it's like now or never? And what I usually say with the Wheel of Fortune is it's time to jump on the wheel. It's time to make the change. It's spinning in your favor, and they want you to get on and do the work to lighten up, brighten up, create and carve a new path for yourself, to be able to see all the endless opportunities that are available for you out there. Okay, and last one we have is the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady. The Knight succeeds. But Knights and Pentacles, they're also very hardworking. Okay, they're responsible. I almost want to say it's like this is take on that energy. It's your responsibility. No one else can make this change in your life but you. So you need to be like the Knight of Pentacles, responsible, willing to hop on that wheel and do the work that needs to be done to get you over here. Okay. Another thing about the Knight of Pentacles sometimes that I say, it's, you know, they're okay with the daily grind, and it's going to be a grind for some of you. Some it will be easier than it will be for others. But I also want to see what's on this card, because usually, yeah, prosperity, benefits, investment, invest in yourself. You're investing in your future. This new path that you're carving is your future. That's what you're investing in, pile 2. I love this message. I feel like it was a little bit of a tough one, but there's, like, I keep wanting to go back to, it's now or never. It's now or never, right? And then the Wheel of Fortune come out. It's now or never. As I said, it's not ever, never, but never, ever. But I just feel like there's, for whoever's listening to this in your life, everything is set up for you to start this now. And this is your message for confirmation. So that's coming through very, very clearly. Ascension. Your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this. Did it not say right here? Therefore, no, hang on. Maybe a new concept, idea, or pathway will be presented to you at a much higher level than anything you have previously considered. Ascension, your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this. I mean, I just said, they're telling you it's now or never. You're ready. And I wanted to pull this card over, like I said, just to see how it ties in. So let's go. Syrians, B. Responsibilities, lessons growing up. Seriously, you guys, like, I'm not saying that you have to grow up, but maybe for some of you, like we had the leaving home message, it's time to leave home. That could be in particular for someone, but it's the lessons. It's learning how to lighten up. It's time to shine. It's time to answer the call. It's time to be responsible. And I said that about the Knight of Pentacles. He is responsible. That's one of the main things. And then you have this card come out, the Syrians, B, with responsibility. So that is your energy reading message. Okay, pile 2, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, by all means, please give me a like, as it helps grow my channel. And if you subscribe, that also helps. If you comment, that also helps. I love to read what people have to say. And if you like my energy readings, I do them every month with different theme decks. So it could be dragon, it could be fairy, it could be mermaid, it could be the universe, angels, whatever it is, but they are all energy readings just like this. So I invite you to subscribe and to come back. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, if you want to share the video with them, that also helps. The important thing is that these messages get out to everyone. And if someone's going through a situation where maybe they need a little more grace in their life, you can share this reading with them. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3, this selenite heart, or this card. This is going to be your universe reading. We're going to do oracle cards. We're going to do an overall energy, as well as live tarot and oracle at the end. I'm going to actually, when I was creating the piles and picking cards to set out here for you to choose from, they said, you know what? It came in, save this card for the end. That sometimes happens, so I'm saving it for the end to see how it ties in. So far, pile 1 and pile 2, amazing. But let's get into your overall energy. We have Archangel Raphael with Earth Force. Okay. And we have Saturn, structure. Oh, imagine we're talking about Earth, grounding, and what is Saturn? The ruler of earth signs. So I think that's quite interesting. We also have Beyond the Mind. We have Orion, Deep Polarity. Your greatest work is your legendary legacy. Oh, nice. We have Vesica, Pisces. 12 chakras. And Akashic records. All right. Well, let's just go with Earth Force with Archangel Raphael, who if you need to do, I want to say, heart chakra work, which is green in color, it's Archangel Raphael. If you need healing, it's Archangel Raphael. If you need to ground down and get yourself settled and in your own body and get your chakras aligned, I'm going to say it's Archangel Raphael that you're going to call upon to help you with that. But with Earth Force, I do believe it is grounding down. It's, I'm sure many of you have heard, Earth, Mother Gaia itself has its own force, and that's what they want you to tap into, that energy, okay? And with Saturn and structure here, I feel that it's kind of saying, and do it, because Saturn is a taskmaster. Saturn is the high school principal. Saturn is here to make sure that we have structure in our lives and learn our lessons. So if Saturn is here with this overall energy with Raphael, I'm really feeling like it's saying you need to ground yourself. Maybe you're a little too much up in the head, beyond the mind. I want to say is when you have your heart and your mind working together. And right now, maybe you're a little too much up in the air, pile 3, and that's why they want you to ground down. They need you working with both your mind and your heart, your thoughts and your emotions. But let's get into the rest of the cards here. They also asked me to read from the book. Normally I don't with Galactic Heritage cards, but I'm going to. I did with the other two readings. And again, just like this card, it's all been pretty interesting. So also we have Divine Feminine Birthing Fertility. And your greatest work is your legendary legacy. And your Akashic records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, karma, and freedom. Saturn also about working through karma and your past lives, right? Because you bring lessons through from each life. We may not necessarily remember them, but your soul, your higher self does. God, source, universe does. So what I want to say, pile 3 overall, before I get in any deeper, is that somehow I feel like I feel like whatever's happening in your life right now is not your legacy. Or for some of you, if you've been doing this work, right, and you've been working on yourself and you're able to work equally balanced mind and emotion, mind and intuition, ego and soul, however you want to say it, that your greatest work is going to be your legendary legacy, right? You're on that path now, and this is confirmation. For some of you, there could be individual messages here in each card, right? Some of you may already be working on your freedom, releasing past life karma, all of that type of thing. You've been working diligently to bring structure and being grounded into your life. And for others, this is something that you need to start doing. And beyond the mind, it's just to me, that is just always, it's not just your thoughts. You need to have clear thoughts, clear emotions, and clear intention, right? And I feel like this is, for some of you, this is completely different than the way you have been leading your life prior to, for some of you, this reading itself, or for some of you, not long ago. It's always a continuous, work when it comes to working on ourselves. It doesn't end, but for some of you, I feel you need to start. I'm going to read this card first, which was 12 chakras. So that's interesting. I talked about Raphael, right? And the 12, and balancing all your chakras. So You are reminded that you have enormous untapped spiritual and psychic powers. By relaxing deeply, you can start to activate your cellular knowledge and bring back the wisdom you held in Atlantis. Your guidance is to access this potential, find time and space to become quiet and still so that you can remember who you truly are. Like I said, I feel that in pile 3 here, some of you are already working on this. This is saying keep going. You know what you need to do. You need to get into that, right? Remembering who you were, into your Akashic records. Maybe for some of you, you could go and have an Akashic record reading. I personally don't do them, or I would say come to me, but you can find someone out there who does, okay? Right? Clearing, and even just clearing stories, right? The stories that you've been telling yourself up to this point. That is important too. All right, let's get into Orion, or Orion. I always want to say Orion and it's Orion. I don't know why. It's one of those words that you know how to pronounce it, but never say it right. Okay. Deep polarity. So, in ancient times, the Orion civilization played out the deepest of polarity during a very dark time in their history. Many souls from Orion eventually came to Earth to heal this polarity through incarnations as humans. If you have pulled this card, then an Orion lifetime of yours still has some influence in your life today. Oh, wow, you guys. These karmic patterns are... I'm just going to laugh for a second. We're talking about karma here, okay? Saturn, learning lessons. All right. So these karmic patterns are ready to be released. Examine your natural human tendency to polarize in thought and belief and ask the universe to help you heal this. Also know that this is a major issue for the entire planet at this time, and your healing affects the whole as well. So when you heal yourself, you're healing everyone. But they want you to go through and work through and you're going to ask Raphael to help you with that. Or you can go straight to the Orion race. They could be your guides somewhere. You can ask about that and help you to overcome your past, to free you from some of the karmic patterns. They're ready to be released. So this is your message. This is very strong. Pile 3, I love this. So this is about getting beyond the mind, right? To be able to work on and release those karmic past life lessons that are maybe holding you back in some way, polarizing you in this lifetime. Because if you don't work on that, right? What will your legacy be? They're telling you, you have the potential to have a great legacy. It's going to be your greatest work in life. I feel like some of you are already doing this, right? This is birthing new ideas, new concepts, rebirthing yourself, really, to start over again once you've released that karma and that past karma. All right, let's get some tarot here to confirm, clarify, or bring additional information in. I think this is so interesting, pile 3. Like they really want you to step up here and tap into that intuition, that psychic intuition ability that you have. Learn how to be quiet with yourself in meditation. Learn how to tune in. Learn how to tune into Mother Earth with that earth force. I love this. You have a legacy that's meant to be shared with others or remembered for whatever reason. The Page of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles. Do you see what I'm saying here about your legendary legacy? They're confirming this right now with these cards. The 10 of Cups. Seriously. All right, you guys. All right, pile 3, Page of Pentacles. We're looking at pages young, full of new ideas, full of new ways to do things, in the sense of developing skills or manifesting abundance for yourself. If we actually look at the card, it says talent, skill, money. Talent, skill, money. Your legacy, okay? take on that energy of the Page of Pentacles. Be willing to go out there and try new things, because pages, they want to bring in new ways of doing things. So if this is something you've already been working on, go within, sit in meditation, sit quietly, whatever you want to call it, and find out, how can I hone my skills? What talents can I bring to the table to make this change in my life? Because there's clearly something that you need to do. And if this is resonating with you, it's resonating. But with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, I mean, this is just showing financial abundance, abundance as in you're getting everything that you want, prosperity, family. It could even be through inheritance, but you will succeed with the Pentacles. This is success. With the 10 of Cups, it's emotional success, right? It's being emotionally balanced, emotionally having everything, again, family, whatever it is in your life. Let's look at the card. Contentment, yes, emotional balance, prosperity, and joy. Okay, you've got 2 10s here, the 2 best 10s. The other 2 are saying that you're putting something down, you're letting something go, it's dead and done, it's over. This is saying, which is good, right? But these are happy. I would call them, these are the happy 10s, pile 3. They're the 10s that are like, you are going to be prosperous and abundant. Does it necessarily mean in money? Maybe. Does it mean in how you will be remembered, what your work is? Maybe. Will it be family, joy, whatever it is? And you've got Saturn here pushing you, the Saturn energy. I like this message, pile 3. This is really good. Okay. Sometimes you don't need an actual theme. You just need to let the readings come as they will. And I didn't ask for anything specific. Observation. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. Yes, going beyond, okay? Going beyond just the mind. Connecting into the earth force. I love that. Now let's see what this final card is. Communication, co-creation. Oh, that is so perfect, because look at them. Look at how they're together, and look how we just have everyone together in these cards. They're saying that maybe for some of you, this is going to be your greatest work is going to have to do with communication. Again, it's going to be different for everyone, but this is a 21, which is a 3, which is all about communication. And maybe you're going to be working on it with different people. Like I said, maybe you'll go and get a reading, and maybe you're really going to tune into the frequency and the messages coming in from Divine and Mother Earth, God, Source, Universe, whatever it is for you, and you will be co-creating with them to build this life and this work, this legacy for yourself. So that is your message, pile 3. I hope that you enjoyed it. I think it's beautiful. If you liked it, please give me a like. It helps to grow my channel. If you are so inclined, please subscribe so that you can see more of these energy readings. I do them throughout the month, always out on Fridays and Saturdays, and they're with different themed decks. It could be angels, it could be ancestors, it could be fairies, it could be dragons. It's just hard to say, right? But I do each one of them each month. So please check those out, because they're readings just like this with themed decks. So please subscribe if you want to get those. And if you know someone who maybe needs to hear this message because you see that potential in them, and you see that somehow they're being held back or polarized, for whatever reason, then please send this, share it with them, because there could be a nugget in here that helps them move forward. That's it, pile 3. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next reading.